Whew. Hey, don't look at my face, though.
What are we doing?
So, we are getting started on the install of the third brake light from Rad Designs. Looks like it's a T20 for the factory bolt. Again, for everybody that's watching, none of this is fancy. We're at the house using regular hand tools. You can do all this yourself. Don't worry about it. Seems like it's a T20. There's 4 of them.
So this brake light has the 3 clearance lights, and then it also has a third brake light, and it also has some white lights to light up in the bed.
Yes.
We're going to replace it with something really nice. You guys saw it on the last podcast episode.
You could do this with a drill or something, but when it comes to these like fine threads and you're dealing with stuff on the cab and it's not something huge like like one of the bolts or the nuts that are on the actual suspension, I'll just do it by hand. I mean, at this rate, if you're in a rush, don't even try to do any of this stuff, but just take your time. The less stuff you break, the better. Right, Jeff?
Yep.
Because we usually break everything we touch. Almost all the time we break something. If we're fixing something, we break something.
I know my dumbass always ends up breaking something.
It's the nature of the beast, dude. It is the nature of the beast. Yeah, when we were younger, Sal's dad would always be like, "Y'all are never working on my vehicle because y'all always break stuff." He's like, "Y'all fix y'all's goal, but then you always break something."
Yep.
But it'd be like that. So, again, you got your 4 T20 fasteners. Pull this thing off. Should just come right off.
You just yoink. Ta-da!
So, yes, some of y'all will notice that the inside of here is red.
The truck is red.
That's because the truck is red. This is all a wrap, just in case you didn't know.
In case you thought these trucks came in forged carbon.
Yeah. Okay, so you got one plug here. And
A clip.
yeah, it's one of those mushroom clips.
The annoying ones.
Yeah. Again, take your time. You don't want to break the tab on this light. Just take your time. See, can you see that? Just take your time.
Or just yoink. Nice.
There you go.
The clip broke, but it's fine.
Oh, did it?
Well, on this.
Oh, yeah, I did. Cool.
Factory brake light. It's clear, unlike the regular F-150s that have a red with a white. And then you have somebody in a 4-wheeler. Then you have the Rad Designs one. This one is billet aluminum. These 3 should, in theory, be your... I haven't checked them, but these 3 should be your reds, and then your 2 white lights should be here, and then you'll have your Baja Designs lights to, flash or just be solid, however you want to do it. And then this right here is... Actually, yeah, it is just an extension coming off of the inside, which you can't see with the camera, but it's right here. So we just got to get in there, pull the headliner down a tiny bit.
You see the
clip, true. So we've got to get in there and pull the headliner down, and then unplug the clip, plug in the new light, and then we can run the rest of the wiring down, including the 2 Baja Designs plugs and the radio, which we don't have a radio just yet, but we will. We will eventually.
Trying to figure out where the clips are.
Huh? What's up?
I'm trying to figure out where the clips are for the headliner.
Oh.
Okay, feel the wires. Here it is. press.
All right, so this took 2 hands, 4 hands actually, but we got the light hooked in.
Yeah, so what you're going to want to do, it may be a little bit easier if you do not have the sliding back window, or slightly, the sliding back window or the panoramic roof, because there are some railings that are in the way for the tracks. And what we ended up doing, we removed this center seat headrest, and whichever poor bastard's gonna be here, you're gonna lean upwards, put your hands in the headliner, and just gently pull forward, and you'll see that plug. There is also a way to kind of like get the holder out of there, but you know, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. This is just how we did it.
Yep.
So, let's continue.
On to the rest of the install. So I'm gonna set the lights up here while we run the rest of the wiring into the cab. So thankfully this hole's big enough, and we'll wait for the diode dynamics, the Baja Designs lights to last. For now, I'm gonna work on running this the coax for the radio. We'll update you when we're done with that. Skipping ahead a bit because we ended up doing all the wiring off camera.
Yeah, so along with it, they give you all the fasteners you need. These are 1/4 inch width washers, and one of the power
butt connectors. Yeah.
For the power. As far as I can tell right now, all of the harnesses are built to order. He'll ask you where exactly, and we'll go over this later on too, but yeah,
He'll call you.
For the most part, he'll call you to see. There's a switch. So these I actually bought, like we've said in the podcast, this one is all the bells and whistles, and it's completely decked out. Everything you can order from Rad Designs on this light. So it also comes with a strobe function. So it comes with a strobe module that's already connected into the harness that they pre-prepare for you, and we'll show you the switch. It allows you to go to different strobe modes, so we'll show you that. He'll also, more than likely, at the time of this video, he'll ask you, where do you want to put that switch, and he'll wire it in for you. So that way you're not trying to do this later on. So one thing you want to make sure on is this gasket. Right. You want to make sure that this gasket's seated the way you want it, and so that way it can compress and be watertight.
What he said.
Let's do a quick light check.
Good idea. Lights on. Lights on.
Right.
Lights on. It works.
All right, so now that the outside is, for the most part, complete, here's the rest of the wiring for you. This is the end for the actual radio antenna, which we're not using yet because I don't have a radio in the truck yet. But here's where all your wires are going to come down from. This is where the person was sitting, where we removed the headrest. And all this part is where we're lightly prying on to be able to see where that plug is. That way you don't completely just pull down your headliner. So you're going to take these wires and just, for the most part, run it up and over. I'll do one at a time.
Yeah, so you're going to run them up above the headliner, and then we're going to run them down underneath the the floor panels, so the sill plates, and then up to the front. So the passenger kick panel is going to contain the flasher module, and we're just going to leave the radio wire there for now until we can get a radio in this truck. So we'll be back when we're done. Once we're done doing that, we'll show you guys how to wire up the flasher module. And then once we get a radio for this truck, we'll show you guys how to wire in the radio. Alrighty.
So, Sal's got it ran. How well can you see this?
Not real good, but good enough.
Well, Sal's got it ran up, over, down.
Down yonder.
And I'll pull this seat down so you can see. Currently, the radio wires are just coiled up, and I have them stashed right behind the jack. The rest of the wire comes underneath this plastic, and if you have a subwoofer, it comes down. It's underneath all this plastic,
underneath the sill plate, underneath all of this trim, and now you see the wire underneath sill plate, and then it's running up into there.
So what we're doing now, that way we're not drilling and stuff. I'm gonna have this strobe module that we were talking about earlier. I'm gonna double side tape it to the back of the glove box. That way, as Sal mentioned earlier, if we ever need to change out this strobe unit, we just snip these wires, put the new one, we can put it back without having to unscrew something or drilling new holes into the truck itself. So far, so good. Let's keep going.
Alright, so we're back. What we did inside the hood is, go to the hood, is we use the factory upfitter wiring, which it's all hidden already, and then use the factory pass-through for the upfitter wiring. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to crimp the upfitter wiring to the flasher module, and that'll allow us to use it as that'll allow us to get it working. And then we just got to hook up this ground, which there's a nice ground plug right there, and from there we'll see what happens. We'll be back. Okay, so we ran the power cable. It's down under here. It's just literally just a wire crimped to another wire, so it's really easy to see. This is where we ran the grounds to this dash support. It's a known good ground point, so we use that. And then for this switch, we're gonna find a place for it. Sorry, this switch. We're gonna find a good place for it. We're probably just gonna end up zip tying a bunch of wire, because we're not really gonna change the modes on it all that often, and all this does is change mode. The way to turn it on, actually officially, is through switch number 6. So what we're gonna do is we're probably just gonna zip tie up all the excess, and then shove it inside, shove like just the end with the switch into the glove box, so that way in case he ever wants to switch modes, he can switch them. But for now, you know, we're not really gonna switch the modes, but we wired it up to switch number 6. So we're gonna flip it on. And it is really bright because freaking Baja Designs. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Definitely recommend. It looked nice. So we're just gonna get the wiring buttoned up, and I mean, that's pretty much it. That's it. She's all buttoned back up, ready to go do work and whatever else Raptor does, like anime things. All right, so it's on. What do you think?
I like him. We need a better spot. Let's go look for something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's bright. All right, so third brake light's in. It's actually much darker, just this camera's really good at night. Go ahead and hit the headlights. So that's just the low 3. Those are the brake lights. And that is the just the quick lights for lighting up the bed. And then hit the flashers. Yeah. Yeah, that's really bright. You are not losing this thing in a dust cloud.
You know, the funny thing is, One Short Gen 2, he actually has the 2 on the third brake light, and he has 2 more mounted on the corners of the bed.
Damn.
So he has all 4 going on at one time.
Well, you're not losing him in a
These
dust
are
cloud.
nice.
Yeah, look at that.
So the next thing would be, when we go with the bumper, should I do 2 of the S2s?
You're gonna stick with Baja Designs?
4 of the S1s. That's how the bumper, the cutouts come out.
Okay.
So that way you can do 2 white, and then maybe we can try to figure out how to wire those into the flashers.
Uh,
At least at the planning stages.
yeah.
Yeah, because I would think 2 yellow down here in the bottom would look pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then of course we already have these that y'all installed, which are white that we can flip on for white light. So that way we at least have 2 for white, 2 yellow that can strobe with the rest of them.
Or at least stay solid on, you know?
Yeah, or stay solid on. But definitely, I'm really impressed with. God, I can't even. Like I just see like all the LEDs right now, but I'm really impressed with it. So we will more than likely do another video here in say 6 months, and we'll do just a checkup, see how everything's working. Again, these things come with full warranty from Rad Designs. Hopefully we never have to use it, but if we ever do, we'll let y'all know how that goes. Have a good one. Be cool, stay humble.
Do it for Dale.